My first guest tonight is organizing this weekend's Black and Puerto Rican Conference. He is Assemblyman Nick Perry, who represents parts of Brooklyn. Assemblyman, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Liz.
It's
a pleasure.
Good to see you. And I know that you are very busy. It is a very chock-full weekend, actually. It actually starts tonight with a reception.
We kick off at 7 this evening with the chairman's reception, and we're expecting thousands of people.
Yeah, how many people actually? I know I have been to the gala on Sunday night, which sort of crowns this whole event, and it's 2,000 people upwards of a big crowd, right?
Well, I'm pleased to say that we have sold out the convention center for the gala, so the dinner will be very well attended. We are looking for seats. In the past, we have sometimes had occasions where we had to make an ante-room to accommodate guests. We're very pleased and delighted to have our keynote speaker on Sunday, former governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about how that came about. This event, this is the 40th annual Caucus Weekend. It is really a must-do event, particularly for Democrats who are interested in, currying favor with the Black and Latino vote. These are very important voters. These people swing elections. It's a big deal. In the past, Bill Clinton has come to speak at this event. Last year, Harold Ford, who we thought might primary Kirsten Gillibrand. How did you come to select Bill Richardson?
Well, as you note, the name of our organization, the Association of Black Puerto Rican Legislators, our caucus over the years have grown to include also Asian and other Latino members. So we endeavor to be as diverse and inclusive as far as our membership is concerned in the selection of our keynote speakers, because we very regularly have African American speakers, but a special effort is made to find a notable and national Hispanic leader, the statue of Bill Richardson.
Is this the first time, then, actually, that you've had a Latino keynote?
No, this is not the first time, but this is certainly a leader of high national reputation, and so he will enhance our efforts to make sure that we represent the spectrum of our membership in our gala.
Actually, last year there was a lot of political intrigue at the head table. It was at a time where we thought that Andrew Cuomo and David Paterson, the governor, and the Attorney General at the time might primary one another. People were worried about a racially divisive primary, and we thought that Harold Ford and Kirsten Gillibrand might end up in a primary, another potentially racially divisive primary. It was all at the head table. I remember it must have been a little on the uncomfortable side.
Yes, my challenge was to make sure that we did not fall into creating or having any semblance of an atmosphere of adversary between any of the Democrats that were attending, and we were all Democrats. It was quite intriguing and interesting, and it turned out pretty well. We seated everybody very in a friendly way, so that people could interact and publicly show that the Democratic Party is a big tent, not just in ideology but also personally, that we can compete for the offices that are available and still be cordial and friendly with each other and keep it from getting personal.
Yes, I was there. There was no food fight. Nothing happened. No one threw anything, and it was very cordial indeed, actually.
And the prospective candidates all very nicely interacted with each other.
They did. This time around, not so much intrigue. We are expecting the governor to attend. He's at least going to come to the gala, is my understanding. You're hoping that maybe he stops by more than that?
Yes. The governor has been very supportive and cooperative, and certainly we look forward to having him around as much as he can find the time to do so. He's new governor. It's important that he interacts and be visible to the thousands of voters that will be here. We supported him. We played a big role in his election.
Sure.
We look forward to working with him through the very difficult times, and certainly we welcome him and want in our very vibrant democracy. There will be disagreements on issues, but we want the governor to know that we look forward to working with him.
So he would be warmly received. I mean, I know there are some legislators who are not thrilled with his budget, particularly the education cuts. There will be a protest on Saturday led by Robert Jackson. He's a New York City councilman, actually. But there will be a warm reception, you believe?
Well, I've been in Albany for, this is my 19th year, and I've never seen a budget from a governor that we really liked.
That's a good point.
Because governors have the challenge of balancing the budget, and so they have to propose the cuts.
Right.
And then we deal with that. I believe that we start out as usual with a very bad budget, and we try to mitigate that. We try to get the best budget that we can. I believe that we can work with this governor to do that, and I expect that the final budget will address a lot of our concerns, and it will be a better budget. Our speaker is very skilled at negotiating, and I'm sure that he'll maneuver the Assembly, and I expect that the Senate will do likewise and bring us to a point where the communities do not bear disproportionate shares.
There was a time in 2002 when Andrew Cuomo primaried the first major party black gubernatorial candidate. It was the state comptroller H. Carl McCall at the time. He dropped out of that primary. There were a lot of people in the African American community who were angry with him. Do you think there's anything left, any residual left at all of that feeling?
Well, I think that maybe for some people, yes, but in not a significant way. And at that time, it may have been somewhat intense and maybe much more sensationalized in the media than it actually was in the African American community and among the voting population. I believe that the governor handled himself well. He dropped out of the race. He supported Carl McCall. Unfortunately, Carl did not win the election, but one of his strongest supporters in this race was Carl McCall.
Yep.
So it would not be any merit to anyone else carrying on about what happened then. I think the governor has been redeemed.
There was also, during the 2010 election, there was some concern among leaders, like, say, the Reverend Al Sharpton, that the entire statewide Democratic ticket was white. And there was a fear at the time that there would be a lack of attention to particularly urban issues for people of color, not just African Americans, but also for Latinos. At the time, the governor said he would make his administration the most diverse in history. So far, we're still waiting for him to fill out the entire sort of cadre, if you will, of his commissioners and agency heads. Are you satisfied so far?
Well, I think that we still have some time. We need to wait and see. He is very slowly putting his full team together. And I am optimistic. My sense of our new governor is that he's very practical and he's realistic. I think he's looking at the real picture and he's responding to that. I do take him at his word that he will have a very, if not the most diverse administration in our state's history. If we look at what his father did when he was governor, then I think we can have great expectations.
Well, but his father, I mean, it was a different time. Some people say he sounds more like Chris Christie than he does like Mario Cuomo, particularly when you look at a budget. And when you come, let's just say, for the example, the prison system, what Mario Cuomo built, he's now seeking to dismantle.
Well, I think we should look more at what the governor does rather than the rhetoric in politics. People say a lot of things. And I'm not saying that the the governor may make statements to mislead the voters into where he's going. But I do believe that we should give him time to act and then look at his actions and measure him by what he does. And I think that at the end of the day, I believe he will keep his promise as far as diversity in his administration goes. And I also look forward to achieving some gains in other areas where the governor's policy can have real impact.
Well, I want to thank you very much, Assemblyman. I know that you have a very full weekend ahead, and I will be seeing you at the event, I hope. I want to thank you, Nick Perry, for coming in. It's been good.
Well, thank you, Liz, and I look forward to seeing you over the weekend, and thank you for helping us spread the news of the work we're doing here.
It's a pleasure.
Okay.